The Xperia XA is one of the latest budget offerings by Sony. It is well built, compact, and its display is nearly bezel-less. This is Linus, stay tuned for a full review. Just before we start, I wanted to give a shout out to the Club Technology UK, which sells the phones online at great prices, ships them globally, and they sent me the Sony Xperia XA for a review. All the links will be down below in the description. Alright, so back to the review. The phone ships with a charger, USB cable, and some paperwork. The very first thing you're going to notice is that the phone has a nearly bezel-less looking display. It not only looks great but also makes the Xperia XA the narrowest device with 5 inches display. Speaking of the panel, it is sharp and crisp despite the fact that it has only 720p resolution. An 8 megapixels camera is here for selfies, and we have the LED light for notifications. Bear in mind that the phone only has on-screen navigation buttons. All the buttons which sit on the right side are click and tactile. As usual to Sony devices, we have a dedicated camera button. As far as the sound quality, it is pretty good whether you listen to music via the earphones or via the bottom placed loudspeaker. The backplate has a soft plastic finish and it is really nice to the touch. As far as the camera, we have a 13 megapixel shooter coupled with a single LED flash. Overall, the phone is well built, and rounded edges of a metal chassis which goes all around the device makes it comfortable to hold in the hand. The Xperia XA has the specs of a mid-range phone. It ships with an octa-core MediaTek Helio P10 chip, which is clocked at 2 GHz, 2 GB of RAM, and 16 GB of storage. Speaking of the storage, you can expand it via the microSD card slot. However, the phone restarts every time you open the flap, and that is a really annoying thing to me. The 3D gaming performance is good for a mid-range phone. There were just a few skipped frames and minor hiccups playing Asphalt 8 on the highest graphics. On the other hand, the phone handles games very well on medium graphics. The performance of the UI is pretty good on a daily basis. I didn't have any major lags that would alter the performance. Speaking of the user interface, the Xperia XA ships with the Android 6.0 with a Sony skin on top of it. The user interface may remind you stock Android, but we have some redesigned icons, quite a few pre-installed apps, and some customization options. Just to name a few, you can change the looks using the baked-in theming engine, adjust the color temperature of the display, and so on. You can launch the camera by simply pressing and holding the shutter key. The camera app is pretty simple and easy to use. If you want to adjust image properties manually, there are plenty of settings to play with. A 13 megapixels camera can take some good pictures for a mid-range phone. The photos have a decent amount of detail and they look sharp, but the quality decreases in lower lit situations. This is a 1080p video sample with the Sony Xperia XA. A 1080p video also looks good and the electronic image stabilization works very well. However, the continuous autofocus could work more gracefully. An 8 megapixel selfie camera can take some decent looking selfies for your social media needs. As for connectivity, I didn't have any issues with Wi-Fi, GPS, call quality, or signal reception. Also, the phone supports NFC. The battery life is one of the weakest points of this device. A pre-installed 2300 mAh unit will get you through the day only if you are not a heavy user. I could get around 3 hours of screen on time on a mixed use. Luckily, the phone supports fast battery charging with the help of Pump Express 2.0. However, the phone ships with a standard charger which does not support this feature. Sony Xperia XA is a decent mid-range phone, and it is a looker due to its nearly bezel-less display. Also, the camera is one of the strong points of the device, and the phone has a decent overall performance. Do keep in mind, however, that the phone has a poor battery life and the display resolution is only 720p. The Xperia XA is a good mid-ranger, especially if you're a fan of Sony, but the main issue is that the device costs around $290 US, and it is slightly overpriced if we compare it to the competition, for example, if we consider some great similarly spec'd Chinese phones. It was Linus. I hope you enjoyed this review and drop me a comment down below if you have any questions about the device. Also, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and see you in the next video soon.